I grew up in a Buddhist family, and but I became interested in Buddhism as a personal search when I was about 15. And I started to read a lot on Buddhism, and that piqued my interest. So by the time I was 19 and in college, I made up my mind to go to Japan to study Buddhism after I graduated from college. Buddhism is really fundamental to my life, and especially it became my spiritual answer in terms of trying to find meaning in my life as a young man. And I encountered a very important teacher in my life named Reverend Gyodo Haguri in Kyoto while I was studying. And he led me to an awareness and realization of the meaning of the Buddha's wisdom and compassion in my life. Yeah. Well, the key philosophy is that impermanence is the truth that's in reality itself. Our spiritual practice is to realize that, and by realizing impermanence, you realize that even you as a you, or I as an I, am not a fixed entity, that I'm also a part of the change. And the more I realize that life is truly real in terms of impermanence, I can always kind of sit in where I'm at and realize that bad things will not last forever, even good things will not, and everything has a place in a very natural way. Well, the hardest thing is that oftentimes in our conventional life, what we do is feed our desires and our attachments, and we hardly look at becoming less of desire, especially those desires that are harmful to oneself and to others, like greed, like hate, like anger, and like blaming, ignorance that pushes us to deny the principle of cause and effect that affects our lives. Yeah, one of the stories that I like is, and I'm not saying it's easy to practice, is that I remember this as a young man, is the story of the Buddha in a, I guess you would call it, discussion session. And one of the listeners got angry towards what the Buddha was saying and said that, you know, your teachings are not really helpful to anybody. You're misleading people, and you're a false leader, like that. And the Buddha didn't answer, you know, and the man just ranted and raved. And so after he finished, because the Buddha didn't answer, he went away, and the disciples around the Buddha were upset. And they said to him, why didn't you respond? You know, why didn't you tell him about the truth that you are wanting to convey? He says, well, I conveyed it in my silence. And for example, if somebody abuses you or uses abusive words towards you, and you don't accept it, then those words, those abusive words, are not mine, but it goes back to the abuser. Our religious services, usually in the mornings, we gather our sangha, our congregation. It's basically family-centered with older people, parents, and children. And we start, first of all, with a musical meditation, and that's followed by chanting. We strike the gong, and then we have portions of our scripture, or what we call sutras. We chant them. And following the chanting, which chanting is a form of praise of the Buddha's wisdom and compassion. After the chanting, we have a period of quiet sitting. And sometimes it seems long, sometimes it seems short, but it usually comes after the chanting. And then after the chanting, in our tradition here, which is adapted to the Western way, we also stand and sing what we call gathas, or verses, relating to the Buddha's teachings. And then following that, we have a reading. For example, one of our readings that are favorite, especially amongst our children, is called the Golden Chain. And it goes something like, I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in the Buddha's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. And after that, I usually give what's called the Dharma talk, which is our message, the Buddhist message. And then following that, we have another reading together, which is called the Metta Sutra, which is the loving kindness meditation. And then after that, our service ends with quiet meditation. And then we, before we have our conclusion, we have announcements.